All right, thank you, and appreciate you all staying for this part of the presentation. My name is Dux. I serve as CTO of AvePoint Public Sector, and yes, that's my real name, Dux. My ducks in a row, so Dux. But very excited tonight to talk to you about how you can accelerate citizen engagement at the speed of now. I'm going to show you real-life demos and applications based on a lot of the concepts we talked about tonight. AI, machine learning, IoT, Run DMC, all that good stuff, all right? So before I show you, I want to put a perspective on where we are today. You know, as government, right, be it state and local, civilian, DoD, there's a lot of needs and a lot of challenges that we face and a lot of requirements that we have to comply with, from the needs of our citizens to regulatory compliance like FedRAMP, HIPAA, cybersecurity. It's always top of mind. But also, especially we're seeing today, there's a big need for cross-sector collaboration across different agencies and private entities. You know, it's unfortunate that the situation happening in Texas. The good news is, if you're keeping up, a lot of technology is being used to help with the rescue efforts, which is phenomenal. And more importantly, the demands from the citizens are growing. These are the latest stats. We talk a lot about mobile. You know, there's 7.3 billion mobile subscriptions worldwide. And social is growing big. And we talk about social, we're not just talking about posting pictures of cats or lunch, right? Social is being leveraged now for a lot of mission critical things. One quick story I want to share. I was born and raised in the deep south, Manila, Philippines, Southeast Asia. A couple of years ago, you know, the worst hurricane that was recorded hit the Philippines. It was Typhoon Haiyan, and I knew a lot of people that lost their families and friends and whatnot. But what's so amazing was a lot of the voice infrastructure was down, but data was up. A lot of people were rescued because of their Twitter posts and Facebook posts on where they're at. So social is very important. Same with what's going on in Harvey. A lot of people, you know, if you're reading, there's this whole Cajun Navy. It's like these volunteers saving people, and they're tracking them based on their Facebook posts. Phenomenal, right? So we can't look away from social because it's becoming very important and it's a fabric of our day-to-day communications. Security, we don't have to talk about that. You know, 169 million records were exposed in 2015 and it's just going up. And then the reality of government is, you know, this is all the needs, but budget is not going and growing. It's actually decreasing. So based on these needs, there's an ask that as government, we have to be more responsive. Because as private citizens, we're so used to convenience, right? You order something from Amazon, pull up your phone, Amazon Prime, buy now, you get it like in 2 minutes. Maybe 30 minutes or next day. But we have that level of convenience. Well, if I ask you how long does it take for you to renew your driver's license to your local DMV, that's what I'm talking about going online, right? When can we get there? The good news is with the power of the cloud, with the power of all these phenomenal technologies, it could be done at a very low cost. So I'm going to walk you through a demo and just kind of talk about how you can accelerate citizen services. And when I talk about citizen services, obviously we're thinking from the perspective of I'm Dux the citizen in my local government or federal government that's serving me. But then you can also look at it or think about it around your internal audience and internal citizens. Because, for example, the military, DoD, they have their own citizens, right? A base can be a city. There's citizens. Or I'm working for State Department. I have, you know, a bunch of employees around the world. That could be my citizen. So the idea is, what if we can empower our citizens with mobile device that they can report any type of incident? And based on that report, leveraging mobile devices, Azure, we can also leverage things like cognitive services, and I'll show you a sample of, earlier Andrew was talking about custom visual services. I'll show you an example of how we could do that. And then take those information and then route it to the right agency who can take care of it. So it's a very typical case management scenario that the cloud through Azure and Dynamics 365 can certainly power. But we can take it further, right? We saw a demo of Alexa. But what if we can use Alexa and Cortana as a mayor and say, hey, show me all the outstanding reports on graffiti. And it would respond back. And I have a sample for that for you. Or maybe we can hook it up to IoT instead of waiting for a Vishwas to report that the street light was broken. The street light will report itself. Hey, my bulb will go out in 2 days. Come and fix me. Is that cool? Well, it's here. So let me show you. The way we built this, so again, my company's AvePoint, and we've been around over 16 years. We build software that help customers migrate, manage, protect, and accelerate their investments in the Microsoft cloud. We're FedRAMP compliant. We work closely with the Microsoft team, and we're the first partner that deployed a citizen service solution in Microsoft's AppSource. So if you haven't gone to or seen AppSource is kind of like an app store for business solutions. And the beauty of this is AppSource is not intended for techies. It's literally your business decision makers, your mayors, your CIOs to go there and use a full-fledged solution. So just go to appsource.microsoft.com and you'll find Citizen Services. And when you hit free trial, in 5 seconds, it's going to provision a full-blown environment. So let me kind of quickly show a sample. So this is AppSource. When I click free trial, it provisioned a full-blown citizen service environment for me. And then you can start playing with it. Full version, 30 days, you can play with it. Now, Citizen Services is an AvePoint technology powered by Azure, Dynamics 365, and a lot of the Microsoft workload. So let me walk you through a scenario on how this would work. So let's say we provision Citizen Services. The first thing we want to do is we want to customize it to my own. So Citizen Services comes with essentially I would say 3 different portals. The first portal would be for the government agency. So let's pick a city, right? So let's say Washington, D.C., they provision this. They can come in and configure the type of services they want. So let me jump in there. Let me configure all the services. So let's say I want a citizen service for Washington, D.C. so that my citizens can report non-emergency services through their phone. Again, graffiti, trees, potholes, what have you. So they can come here and configure, you know, they want to report garbage, noise complaint. So you can update all this. In fact, you can even, let's say you want to change the logo, you know, you want to put the logo of, rebrand the portal. So everything is self-service. Now, if you think about this, a solution like this in the past takes a lot of custom work and a lot of coding, but this is all turnkey that government IT, in fact, you don't even have to be IT. You can go and configure it yourself, change logo, change colors, all that good stuff. Now, once you configure it to your liking, right, the service request type, and by the way, this integrates with existing systems as well. We certainly understand government they may have their in-house system, legacy systems, work management systems they want to hook into. You can hook this in as well. So let's say once you configure all the different things, all the services you want to offer, right? So we're putting in, you know, we want to put services around garbage collection and whatnot. So once that's done and you're ready to use it, right? You want to go live. So now I'm going to make it available to my city, in this case, Washington, D.C. So how does this work, right? So let's say you want to report graffiti. My name is Dux Sai, not Banksy. Right, what I'm trying. Let's say I want to report a graffiti, right? So a citizen can just use their device, because they may have an app for Washington, D.C. Citizen Services, or whatever you want to call it. Hey, I want to report this graffiti. They could take a picture, right? And literally, as soon as they take a picture, it could be a pothole, it could be a broken tree, it could be, you know, light bulb not working. They can put in whatever the issue is, and then hit send. And obviously, based on their GPS location, they can send it to the appropriate agency, and then as a citizen, I can track it. Now that's great, that's cool, but wait, there's more. Going back to Andrew's point, what if we take advantage of custom cognitive services, or custom vision, right? What we did is we used that service, we fed in a lot of pictures of graffiti. So when the citizen takes a picture, I don't even have to say I'm reporting graffiti. It will say, are you reporting graffiti between 14th and R? Is that cool? This is a real-life application of what cognitive services can do. And then once I hit submit, it would just route it to the right agency. It could be potholes. We actually were working with a city now. We're finalizing the details. We'll make it public in a few weeks. We fed in a bunch of pictures of potholes. You take a picture of pothole, it will know how wide, how deep, what corner, and through time, it will learn it gets better. You see, a lot of times when we talk to government folks or customers around, oh, AI, machine learning, bots, cognitive services, it's just a bunch of gibberish. But when you show these type of applications that's real world, very meaningful. Well, Dux, that's great. I mean, city, I get it, pothole trees, but I work for DoD. This doesn't really apply. A base is a city. You work for the State Department? How many buildings do you guys have around the world? Think of this for facilities management, right? The park services. Now, once that case or that issue is reported, a case will now be created and assigned. So imagine this is the back end for the government agency. Again, they're not looking at any custom, complicated forms, very simple front end. Based on the request, we'll route it to the right department, right? So let's say in this department, these are all assigned. And as we assign it, the assignment will actually go to the field worker, all right? It will go to the field worker, and they may be going around and say, hey, Steve, go fix this. They'll get an alert, they'll fix it, they'll document what they fixed, they take a picture, and the citizen who reported it will now know that it was taken care of. Now, what else can we do with this? Well, let's say the mayor or the director, they want visibility into more advanced things, right? Like what's going on. So let me jump in. So let's say this is all good, we're tracking all this, and by the way, friends, all these cases are running on Dynamics 365 Gov. So it's all Dynamics 365 Azure backend. Now, what about other things I could do with this? So first, let's look at some cool information I can capture. So this dashboard is taking advantage of embedded Power BI in Azure, and it's pulling all the data with all the requests that came in. So let's say I'm interested in show me all the abandoned vehicle in this whatever that's completed. So I'll have, well, I guess nothing's been completed. Okay. That's assigned to a department. Okay. There you go. So I'll have data, and obviously I can export this, slice and dice it however I want. And you know what this means, right? Dashboard, this is what your decision makers and executives love. You want to get promoted? One word, dashboard, instant promotion. So now you have full visibility into all these things. And what we've also done, we've integrated this with Cortana. So you can literally on Windows 10 say, hey, Cortana, show me all the outstanding, abandoned vehicles. And then Cortana will take that data and pull it up and show it to you. And with a partnership with Alexa now, we're going to do this for Alexa as well. Yeah. What do you guys think so far? Helpful? All right, one more thing. Now, and for another $9.99, we've leveraged Azure IoT as well. You can hook this up to any IoT-enabled device, from streetlights, parking meters, Nest devices, cameras, what have you. So what we did here is we connected it to public data. Somebody was talking about earlier that there's so much public data out there on IoT devices in Chicago. And mind you, this is not live data. This is some past data that we're using as a sample. So we tapped into a specific area that shows me all the lights that are not working, that's failed, right? So obviously a lot of lights are bad. So what does this mean? So as a government agency, I don't even have to wait for somebody to report that the light is broken. I could see it. I could send somebody to fix it. Do you know that in most crimes in cities, 30% happen in a dark area? We can prevent crimes, right, from doing this, Now, the other cool thing is not only do I have immediate visibility to which device is working or not, but through time, I can predict failures through machine learning. So I can say, you know what, between August 30 to, and I can change dates, by the way, in the next 3 months, right, tell me which lights would go bad. So what we're seeing here, friends, there's a likelihood within 5 miles of this address, these lights, these are the ID of the actual street lights, will go bad. And those numbers are it could be a model of the light bulb or whatever, right? So total failures, 100 light bulbs. So this tells us that we could be more proactive. Right? Within this time frame, we have to constantly, instead of sending one person to go fix it, we can have a proactive team to go address it. And then if I need to order 100 light bulbs, we also integrated this now so you can hook it up to any type of inventory system, or hook it up to Amazon if you want, and easy button, place order. I just ordered 100 light bulbs. Right? What's the implication here? As a government agency, I don't have to stock up on hundreds, thousands, millions of light bulbs because I can predict. I can negotiate better. Well, you promised me these bulbs would last a year. It's dead in 6 months. Either you give me a better rate or I'm going to do a new RFP. Now, preventive maintenance. Let's say I don't want to, do this whole machine learning, but here's what I want to do then. Because it's IoT enabled, I can actually tell the device 1 week before you think you go bad, just create a service request. So the device itself would report itself. What we're doing here with this technology, we're not relying now on people. I mean, it's great if people can report, but I know they go to Facebook first to complain about their government before any of these things. We want to rely on technology. But speaking about that, we're also hooked up to Microsoft Social Engagement on Dynamics 365 to monitor Facebook, Twitter, and all the typical social feeds. So if I can look at a specific radius, and as long as that account is available, and watch for sentiment, if he complains on Facebook that he hates his local council because there's trash all over the place, social engagement can pick it up and create a request. We have a customer now. We're going to tap into Waze. Anybody use Waze? What kind of data can you pick up from Waze, other than the police is there? Potholes. Potholes. Right? So the boy, I tell you, the possibilities are endless. And that's the exciting part about this platform, because not only is it doable, I mean, Andrew showed you, he spent 30 minutes. That's including testing and trial and error to build a technology like this. And when it comes to government especially, it's very, very inexpensive. Let me show you an example of cost, right? Back in the day, if this was all on-prem, it costs an arm and a leg. So we have a customer now. It's a city in Ohio, and for these capabilities, for a population of about, because we look at population, that's where we estimate the request that comes in. I think they have a population of like 60, 70,000. It's a rather small city, a rather small town. In a year, it's with all our stuff and the Microsoft stuff that they need to spend, it's about 15 to 20K for all this, right? Compared to similar solutions back in the days on-prem, it cost millions and millions of dollars. And that's the power of the cloud. I don't know, I don't, I try not to be as excited as I am, but this is cool, exciting stuff. Talk about connected services and accelerating government efficiency. So with that, back to you, sir. Yep.
Can you transition to the next slide? I think you have the last slide. So thank you, Dux. Dux, I mean, I've watched Dux present many sessions, and he's genuinely excited about the technology, and he's a great presenter. Thank you again, Dux. Yep. Karina, you want to have the last slide?
So thank you, everybody, for coming. We'll have a little time to network afterwards. Again, we're always looking for volunteers. Our next meetup is the last Wednesday of the month, September 27th, so please come by. And then we've been posting during this live meeting on the Meetup platform and on Twitter, so check those things out as well. Thank you.
Good job, Frida.